Central.
Knock, knock, who's that at the door? My mind stay wide open as I'm doing chores. Thank the man above and we pray for more. Refuse to go down the road that we've been before. Keep my faith in God, still I'm whipping guns. Revising beat plans as we're counting funds. Ain't leaving this bitch till we get it done. 2 nights top floor, then it's on the run. 30,000 feet high, how I like. Press
I'm your
rewind,
host,
let my
David
seat run. Just some
Capewood.
wine.
You are listening to the Chelladurai Inc. show live. We have a wonderful show for you guys tonight. Time now is 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock Mountain Time, 11 o'clock Central, and of course midnight over there back east. Good morning to you fine folks. Real quick before, I got a long show tonight. We have a lot of content to put out there for you guys today. I want to give a quick sports update like we always do. First couple minutes of our show. With that, Game 6 just ended as Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron James and company is going to force a Game 7. Back to Oakland we go for Sunday evening as the series now is tied 3-3. Cleveland Cavaliers winning at 115-101. No team has ever came back from a 3-1 deficit at the NBA Finals, and LeBron James is flirting with history. So we'll be on the lookout for that. In other news, baseball's in full effect, obviously, getting very close to the All-Star game, which will take place right here locally in San Diego. I'm having a little issue bringing up my scorecard. Oh, no, I'm not. Dodgers and the the Milwaukee Brewers and the LA Dodgers are in a live game right now, bottom 5, 6-3 Milwaukee in LA. Washington is taking on the San Diego Padres in San Diego. Washington up 5-3, bottom 6. Atlanta Braves finally getting a win under their belt as they beat the Cincinnati Reds 7-2. Tampa Bay loses at home to the Seattle Mariners 6-4. 5-1 Texas over Oakland in Oakland. And 13-2 as the Toronto Blue Jays absolutely rout the Philadelphia Phillies, also in Philadelphia. Looks like it was just nearly all the away teams won today. Baltimore also away in Boston, beating the Red Sox up 5-1. New York Mets was home against the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're going to win 6-4. Yankees over the Minnesota Twins in Minnesota 4-1, and Detroit over KC in KC. And the Tigers are going to take that 10-4. As we know, the hockey NHL Stanley Cup is over. I'm not really going to go over golf and whatnot. We're only going to go over the hot sports right now. No disrespect to any golfers. But, folks, I want to get right to our show tonight. We have a wonderful show lined up. I want to introduce our first guest. He's a social media marketer and consultant guru. Folks, his name is Patrick Burns, and he has a little to say for our audience tonight. So without further ado, I do want to introduce Patrick Burns. Patrick, you are live on the Chelladurai Inc. show, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
How's it going, my man? Glad to be here.
Oh, we are as well. We are as well. Patrick, I'd love to just kind of, this is very informal. I just kind of want you to talk about a little bit of your background, what you do, how you do it, where your passion to do it came from, and just a little bit of background about yourself, Mr. Burns, and you can just kind of take the floor right now and just kind of run with it.
All right, man. Essentially, I am the media man, pumping out waves on all different social media platforms. I do personal branding for myself, and then I do it for other people. So basically, if you have small businesses that need to get online, get their name out there, I can help with that. If you're a musician, you need to get your name out there, I can help with that. I do like graphic design work. I do that for Instagram. I do videos on YouTube. Basically anything media, that's me. That's what my passion is, and that's what I love to do. The first way I got into that, I actually worked for a tech company last year. It was basically Uber for lawn care. That was an interesting concept. So basically it's like, oh man, I want my yard mowed, and you could have somebody get there, mow the lawn all through your phone. And I was the marketing manager for that company. So that was like my first taste of it. And then did that for a couple months and wasn't getting too much momentum from that. And I wanted to do my own business venture. I'm like, okay. And I started a personal training service, like an online personal training service. And through working on that business and then the tech startup, I got a lot of experience in the ins and outs of online marketing and media, and basically just how to brand it and how to get your name out there. So now once I learned from those platforms, now I want to help people get their name out there. That's my job, because I know the struggle and all the tools and tricks. I mean, it's ridiculous, dude. I'm on like 7 networks, and all the things that you have to do to know how to build it up and brand it right and get it out there. It's not that easy, but that's what I want to help people do. Essentially what I do, man.
That's great, Patrick. Folks, for those of you guys just joining us a couple minutes late, I have marketer, brand specialist, and social media consultant Patrick Burns with us tonight. Very special guest, CEO of OE, which is OptimizeEnterprise.com, website www.optimizeenterprise.com. Find him on his Snapchat, Mr. Burns55, and as well as his Instagram account, MRBURNS55, Mr. Burns. Jordan, anything that you want to ask Mr. Burns?
Mr. Burns. That's my name, man. You'll find me on any network if you just look that up.
Yeah, thanks again, Patrick. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. And, so one thing what we do is usually we ask, all of our spotlight guests, we're curious as to where their, knowledge came from. What are there any books that you would recommend to, any of our audience that's a good read to, say, tell them
man.
Either
where to begin?
In this realm.
Where to begin? I mean, a lot of my stuff I learn and I kind of model after people. I study people that are big names in the game. I'm sure if you guys are on social media, you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is. He's a big social media guru, and so I watch a lot of his material, a lot of his content. I formulate my own spin on it, and then I take what I've learned from him and done that. I do a lot of things visually. I mean, I do listen to audiobooks sometimes. Seth Godin, he's a big-time marketer. He's got a lot of informative. There's like All Marketers Are Liars, which sounds, like a bad title, but it's a good book in its own right. You have to look deeper into it to understand that. But Seth Godin, Gary Vaynerchuk, Ty Lopez, he's also a big influence on me. He's an entrepreneur, investor, and I follow his stuff on YouTube. And a lot of, I pick little things from them, and then I add my own little thing to make my own. But I'm much more of an artistic type person. I mean, if you look at my Instagram feed, you can see a lot of artistry in what I do. It's not just all informative and real, classic business. I like to be creative and very artistic with my content that I create.
Sure. Yeah, no, and it comes off. Definitely. We recognize that. And, it's awesome. So let's say, I know you can't give away the candy store, but if you were to give some
I give away all
to...
bit of nuggets. Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting. Keep going.
No worries. No, please. So, yeah, I mean, that's what, if there was, one of our audience members who, let's say they have an idea, from idea to bringing it to life, what is the path that you would recommend them to follow and execute on?
I would do a lot of rapid trial and error. I mean, that's like huge in marketing, because you don't know what the market wants until you feel out the market. Like when I post content, when I first started posting content, I had to correlate where I was getting the most feedback and then exploit that type of content, because I knew that was the feel or what the audience responded to. I mean, you're honest. You can put your heart and soul in your work, but it's all comes down to what the market wants. And you've got to understand it from outside your mind and into their minds of what they like. So, but you can still, there's some stuff I post and I do it, my own personal thing, because I have that power to, brand it my own way or do whatever and be my original self. But you got to counterbalance it with feeling out the market. But it's going to be a lot of trial and error, man. If you're trying to build a brand or any business, you're going to go through a bunch of knots on the head. And it's like, and you got to learn how to, when to be persistent and when to pivot. That's like one of the most crucial things when starting a business or building a brand or anything. Because just for example, okay, I have my Optimized Enterprise. That's my personal training business. And then Mr. Burns is how I brand my social media and all that stuff. But basically, I was doing my personal training business for a year and 4 months, not barely getting any traction. Like, I mean, I'm getting my name out there, marketing it well, but like, you know, connecting with clients, closing, getting the flow, you know, with the system was not nearly as fluid. And you got to be persistent to a point and then realize, hey, this isn't going to work this way. But with my social media work, I've literally been doing it for only 4 months, and I'm superseding my personal training business by leaps and bounds. I'm getting way more response, way more clientele come in. I'm getting a higher ROI on my time invested. So learn how to be persistent and learn when to pivot. You want to be stubborn to a certain point, but then you got to realize, okay, this isn't working. Let's alter things. And then once you see that opening for what's working, you attack it and go full steam. Be what I would say.
Definitely. No, that's awesome. So yeah, I think definitely we have a lot of gems and jewels inside those words right there. So for everybody, I'm sure there's something that, you know, we can all take out of that. And, you know, again, Patrick, we appreciate you joining us. And is there anything else? Those are all the questions I have at the moment. Is there anything else that you would like to just share? Of course, we'll post your handle again, give you a shout out on our page for sure. And then if you had anything else that you wanted to just shout out, please feel free.
You are more than welcome, the audience that listens. I actually have free social media guys. I'm a type of guy, I'm more long-term and want to gain authority in my field. So I would give a lot of value, man. Like what I'm telling you, I don't care. I don't have to, you know, not be able to give away a bunch of stuff because I got to have business. Like I want to help people and show my credibility with that. So if you go to my website, you can sign up for a free social media guide. I'll get you started. And if you follow Mr. Burns 55 or just Mr. Burns on any of my platforms, I guarantee you're going to get caught up to speed with a lot of stuff because I give out an insane amount of content, tips, and everything. So just follow those, and I'm sure we can figure out something to get links provided and whatever. But I'm on Snapchat. I am on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and there's one more. Not catching me right now, but there's another one.
Tumblr?
Tumblr, yeah, I'm on Tumblr, but that's not going anywhere. Like, there's not a lot of momentum on Tumblr right now.
Okay, well, cool. Well, Patrick, this is Aaron. On behalf of Jordan and myself, I really appreciate you coming on tonight. It was wonderful. And again, we'll definitely post you on our Facebook and Instagram page as well. And we wish you the best of luck. Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. You have a great night.
You too.
All right. Take it.
Folks, that again was Mr. Patrick Burns. Check him out of Optimized Enterprise. Check it out, OE, CEO of OE. Time now is 9:15. I want to get right in. We have a very special episode in the fact that Jordan and I both have two guests. We're running a double header tonight. So I don't want to really waste any time. I want to get right into our next guest. His name is Coach Miguel, and I'm going to have him give a little update on himself. He's an entrepreneur, he's a speaker, and he's a coach. You can find him on Instagram at Coach Miguel B. Without further ado, I don't want to butcher his last name, so I'm going to have him do it himself. Mr. Miguel B., you are live on the Chelladurai Inc. show. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, brother. How's it going?
It's going great. It is going great. I appreciate the call-in. I know you're back east or you're Central Time, and I know it's a little later out there than it is here. But Miguel, if you could, if you'd like to pronounce your last name, because I didn't want to take a try.
It's always a headache, man. It's always a headache for everybody. It's all good. No, it's pronounced Buleje. It's actually a Spanish last name, I think. So it's pronounced Buleje.
Yeah, I like it. And Miguel, just same with, I think you were just on the phone when we were talking to Patrick. Same little rundown with you. If you could just give a little background about yourself, how you got into doing what you're doing, where that passion really had came from, and just what you're all about.
Cool stuff, man. Yeah, I've always had the heart of an entrepreneur. I just never really followed it when I was a kid. I come from a South American country, so growing up with parents that are Latinos, Hispanic parents, you come from that culture where they tell you what to do and who you're going to be. So that's what I did, man. I worked hard, and I got myself a good degree, an electrical engineering degree, and I was doing just fine until I realized that I was one of the worst employees ever, from literally ever, that you could ever have, right? So I realized that was not really my thing, so I thought, okay, well, what the hell am I going to do now? And little by little, I started meeting people out there, and I was introduced to the entrepreneurial type of world, right, that I had never heard of before. I was living in my own little box. And, yeah, so I decided to do that, and it just kind of clicked. I just went with it. I started doing a lot of different things. I started my own business here locally in Texas. It's a youth soccer club, academy. And so I started with that about 3.5 years ago, and then, little by little starting to do more things. I started investing in real estate. I started my own online business. I started at my own speaking gig as well. I do little gigs here and there, especially here in San Antonio. And, yeah, that's what I'm doing now. What I'm actually doing now is I'm coaching. I'm doing some type of, let's call it a life business type of coaching, So that's what one of the projects that I'm working on right now.
And when you do these live business coachings, Miguel, how are people reaching out to you? I mean, how are you marketing yourself to do these coachings? How are you reaching out?
It's mostly online. I do a whole bunch of Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube advertising. Of course, I hate that. I hate the word guru. I'm really not. I really hate it. I really don't like it. So some people call me a guru. I'm not okay with that. I'm just an online guy. I've been online in the last, I want to say, 2.5 years maybe. But I've just been learning everything about the online world in the last 2.5 years. Just everything about it. Every single little thing about it. I eat, breathe, and sleep that business online. So that's how I'm marketing myself. I go mostly Facebook and Instagram. I'm going to get myself in front of video as well, doing more YouTube videos. And, so that's how I'm doing it online right now.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm sorry if you had already said this, Miguel. How long have you been doing this for? Just the coaching itself, not the kind of the entrepreneurial game, but how long have you been coaching?
Well, the coaching itself, we go back to, I really want to say about 8 years ago, but not necessarily business coaching. I've always had a passion for helping people, right? So I've always coached different people, even when I was going to college. And then after that, of course, I started my own local business here. It's a soccer academy. So I was not just the president, but I'm also one of the coaches for one of the teams that I have. So I started that as well, and little by little, more people started reaching out to me. I started doing more videos, and then people started reaching out to me. Hey, coach, dude, I need some help, man. Can you help me out? So, and that's how I got involved in that coaching business. Especially in the last 6 months, I was doing a lot of info marketing. I was selling a lot of info products. How to brand yourself out there, how to use Instagram, Facebook, YouTube to brand yourself. But one of the things that I saw is that a lot of people that were buying my products, a lot of people that were buying my services, and a lot of people that were buying other gurus' services as well, most people really don't have what it takes. They have the information, right? We live in the information era, right? We have information all over the place. You have free information. You have paid information. You have information all over the place. You can learn literally anything right now. It's at the tip of your fingers. You go to the internet, you can't find any type of information that you want. You can find it anywhere. And that was going great. I was making great money. I was getting great feedback from my students, but they were not producing the results that they wanted. So I thought, okay, well, there's something more, there's something else that's not just clicking. There's something that's missing. What is that missing piece? And it really comes to a lot of psychology. I sent a survey to my subscribers, to my list of followers and students, and it was shocking to see that a lot of people were lacking the self-belief. I gave them a little survey of, okay, tell me what's the one thing that you're lacking. Is it money? Is it time? Is it a proven mentor? Or is it self-belief? You tell me. And I believe that 80-something% says self-belief. And then the rest of them, was a little bit of money, which we all know that it's just an excuse. And then, of course, the mentorship. So that's when I thought, okay, well, you have the information, but you're just lacking the self-belief, and it's true. I mean, I started looking at the stats, and I mean, how many successful people can we see in the entrepreneurial world? How many successful people can we see, the employees themselves? Most people, I think 80% of employees hate what they do. Only 5% of entrepreneurs actually make it. So my question is why? If we have all the information out there, why are most people failing? And that's what I started diving into. I wanted to find the answer. So I started doing some work. I started reaching out to my mentors, and I started studying as well, a little bit of psychology, neuroscience, mindset. And that's why I decided to do this mentorship program. It's a program that is going to be launching here in the next two months. And I'm, just working my ass off, on that right now. So
nice. And Miguel, this is Jordan. That all sounds amazing. I had a question with so much going on. I wanted to, ask you, are you single-handedly, basically handling the entire operation? Do you kind of have a support team behind you, or?
No. It's actually, I don't call it a support team. So there's really I don't have employees or any of that. It's really, I'm working together with two of my actual mentors, Now these mentors that I have, they're actually old people, so they don't know anything about the online world. So I'm the online guy here, and they're the ones helping me with the actual, with the actual content. So yeah, it's the three of us working together.
Sure.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, there's no place better to find knowledge for than somebody who's actually been through it and experienced. So no, I think that's a great avenue to choose from, definitely.
Right. Yeah. No, it's cool, man. And I'm looking forward to it. I really want to see the results. I really want to see, what's going to happen with this project. Just like Patrick was saying right before me, it's all about testing. I really want to give people the answer to their lack of success. So we'll see how that goes.
Definitely. And you said again, what is the link for everyone that wants to catch up with you on the program? What's the domain name they should head to?
For right now, I have a capture page set up. Like I said before, it's in the process right now. But you can go to 100xhustle.com. So that's 100xhustle.com. 100xhustle.com.
Nice.
And then they can opt in right away, and they'll be put on a little waiting list, and they'll be reached out here in a few months once I get this thing going.
Awesome. And Miguel, just like we ask all our guests, we're curious to know what are you reading, or what are you watching, what are you listening to, where are your main influences coming from?
A lot of people. You have to, I think it was Ty Lopez said it. One person's not going to have all the answers, right? I think Patrick was talking about Ty Lopez a little bit. One person's never going to have all the answers. One mentor's never going to have all the answers. So I really go all over the place. I mean, he talked about Gary Vee. I listened to a little bit of Ty Lopez also, Grant Cardone. I love Tony Robbins. He's one person that I look up to. One person that I kind of wish that you could be more like that person,
Sure.
somebody really to look
Sure.
up to. So, I follow them. I follow a lot of, mostly them though, mostly them. I like Frank Kern.
Yeah, no, those
Frank
are all
Kern's a
great.
great guy. So yeah, I follow these people.
Sure. I'm sorry, what was that last name?
The last one?
Yeah, the last one?
It's Frank Kern. This guy has
Frank
been
Kern.
online in the last 16 years, and he's just a straight up marketing guy. I mean, dude's a millionaire, but he's got a heart of, he just wants to give, and he's just a great teacher. He knows what he's doing, and yeah, dude, something else.
Awesome. Yeah, I haven't heard the name, but definitely gonna check that out.
You need to check him out.
And,
he does some live
Frank
stuff
Kern.
on Facebook. On Fridays, I think.
Oh, wow.
Just look him up, Frank Kern. You're gonna love this guy. Trust me.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, definitely. I'll check them out. And did you have anything else that you just wanted to add in, to share with our audience?
Oh man, there's so many things. I'm a talker, man. You can have me here for an hour. We can be here for hours, man. But I'll tell you something.
Sure.
There's this awesome video because I watch those motivational guidance videos every day as soon as I wake up, and I saw this one that I just fell in love with. It's from Art Williams, and the video it's called "Just Do It," right? And it's a great 20-minute video, and I watch it every single morning. The first thing I do is watch that 20-minute video. You can simply go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, type Art Williams, and then type "Just Do It" speech. It's an 18 or 20-minute speech. So what do I have to say? It's really simple. Just do it. It's really simple. I know a lot of people out there, they want to make things happen business-wise with their jobs. They want to travel. They want to get a family. They want to do a lot of things, but a lot of the things that keep them stuck is lack of self-belief, lack of confidence, lack of belief. It really, that's what it is. So just go out there and do it. Be okay with failing, and just make shit happen.
Well, wonderful, Miguel. Wonderful. It sounds like you're really helping the world and helping a lot of different people in many different ways. Anything else that you want to really? I mean, now is your time to speak to our audience and get any additional reach for yourself. So, if there's anything else that you'd like to really say, I know Jordan and myself fired a lot of questions at you, which you've answered very well. But if there's anything you would like to say at this point, being that you're on our show, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, besides the fact that you just got to do it, right? I think, one of the things that I see a lot out there, and I'm actually, I'll be the first one to admit that I did this too. And, it's that thinking, that mindset that we think we know it all. We think we have all the answers. We think we're badass. We think we are the best. We think all these awesome things about us when we really think about it, we're really lacking a lot of things. So what I personally suggest to everybody is really to humble down and have some humility and learn from everybody. Stop judging people for what they are, what they do, who they are, where they are, the mistakes they've made, because we've all made mistakes, man. I'll be the first one to admit I've made the stupidest mistakes in my life ever, so who am I to blame somebody for where they are? Instead of that, just help other people and really humble yourself. Reach out to other people all the people that are smarter, that are more successful than you are, and just go out there and say, you know what, help me. Just help me. Can you please help me? What do I do? Help me. I need your help. I don't have all the answers. I don't have, all the success that I want. I'm not the king of the world. Can you please help me? I think that if we all do that, if we all reach out and ask for help, I think this can just be a better world. So that's just the final advice.
Wonderful. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys are just tuning in a little late now as our show concludes. We have entrepreneur, speaker, and really he's a coach, really, Miguel Bujere. Miguel, thank you so much for joining our show tonight. We really appreciate it. We'll blast you. We will post on our Instagram as well as our Facebook about you. And we really appreciate you, and the best of luck to you in the future. And continue doing great things and helping the people around us. I really appreciate it. And thank you for calling in outside of Texas. I know it's over after 11:30 over there now. So again, Miguel, thanks so much.
It's my pleasure, brother.
Have a great night. Folks, that again was Miguel B. What a great show we had. By the way, if you guys are still listening now, that you are a subscriber of the Chelladurai Inc. show on our YouTube channel. This is our after-hour spot that Pravin and myself always do. First 30 minutes we give to everybody, but the last 15 minutes of our show are always what we call our after hours, and you're going to have to log into our YouTube channel to hear the rest. But anyway, great show. Has some very interesting speakers. Both speakers talked about Seth Godin, talked a little bit about Gary Vaynerchuk, and I'll have to check this guy Art Williams out on YouTube that Miguel was talking about. Anyway, wonderful people doing wonderful things. Extraordinary people doing, maybe they're ordinary people doing extraordinary things. I don't know which one it is, but needless to say, these guys are great. Jordan and I couldn't be happier by having these guests on. And you guys, if you guys ever want to come on to our show, the Chelladurai Inc. show, and talk, please direct message us on our Instagram, Chelladurai Inc. That's where we get most of our guests. CHELLADURAIINC. Shouldn't need to be spelled anymore, folks. You should be able to spell this like you could spell the word stop or go. Okay, this is a household name just like Quaker Oats. You know what I mean? But wonderfully done. I'm actually really proud of myself for having both of those guys line up for tonight. Really resonates with us well. Right now, we're going to switch it over to Jordan, as Jordan is going to talk about his little reading time with Jordan, as we're big book readers, and I think Jordan's got something up his sleeve right now as far as what he's reading right now. And without further ado, this is Jordan Pravin Phillip, folks, on the What's Hot Right Now on the in the Hot Sheets.
All right, thank you, Aaron. So yeah, this week, I don't think we talked about it last week, but I ended up getting Crush It from Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary, I mean, at this point, you want to talk about 51-49, Gary, I think we're holding the larger percentage on this one right here. So that just goes to show, that giving value does not have to be monetary. If you look at it like that, I mean, how many times have we discussed Gary Vaynerchuk? I haven't gotten $1 from Gary Vaynerchuk. And he's given us a whole boatload of value. We've bought, a couple of his books. Haven't gotten Crush It yet, but definitely plan on getting Crush It. I'm sorry, not Crush It. I'm sorry, I'm on 5 hours of sleep right now. I'm sorry. Jab, 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 right hook. That's what we need. Yeah, jab, 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 right hook we'll end up doing soon, eventually. But Crush It is definitely like tying it back to what Patrick was discussing, the pivotal point. You need to pivot. Sometimes you keep digging, but you need to pivot because you might be going down the right path, but you might not be on the exact right frequency, if that makes sense. So basically you need to pivot and you need to adjust the direction that you're going. If you feel like every day you're hammering it at the gym and you're not seeing any results, then maybe you need to pivot and maybe you need to take a look at your nutrition. and see what has been missing with your nutrition. And going back to that, just since we're, on the after hours spot right now, just to give everyone an update of the intermittent fasting that we started back in I started back in episode 20 something, I believe. It was a while back. I believe it's at least 2-3 months ago. Anyways, the results are noticeable, definitely noticeable. I feel, a lot stronger, leaner, definitely leaner. I'm in a little bit of a bulking phase right now, trying to put a little more weight on, but the eating pattern hasn't changed. So I am still not eating until 1, 2 o'clock. But the good news is I'm eating burgers and fries. I'm eating pizzas on the regular, guys. With that being said, there's still a calculation with the caloric intake being calculated. You need to know your caloric maintenance. And once you can figure out your caloric maintenance level, your baseline, then you can basically eat within reason. You can eat a pretty flexible, relaxed lifestyle diet. So, that's what it's all about. It's all about enjoying ourselves out here. Life is short. We've been gifted a limited account, right? We have an account with a balance on it. Every second is ticking away, and we're getting closer to zero. So don't waste your gift. Don't waste your gift. Don't waste what you've been blessed with, what you've been given. One thing I noticed, actually, I've been sleeping a little more than usual as of late. And to be honest, I feel rested, but I feel like I can go with a little less sleep, because when you're awake and you're just hammering it and working, even if you're underslept, if you're doing what you want to do, then you're okay. You when you're doing something that you're passionate about, helping others, achieving, pushing the limit, then you can really do a lot more than what you would think you can do. And you need to be the one to push yourself and put yourself in those difficult situations, put yourself in tough situations that you really don't think that you can make it out of. Within reason. Don't go out and do anything crazy, but you need to push it to the limit. If you think maybe I can't hit that extra weight on that bar bench press, maybe I can't go another mile, maybe I can't read another page, maybe I can't write another poem, I can't draw another picture, whatever it may be that you're doing, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. And that's what we talk about a lot on here is the mindset stuff, which is the root. But again, that's just the root. Above the ground comes the execution and the production. If you're not executing and you're not producing, it's very difficult to bear the fruits. So we all want fruits in life. So, those are just some thoughts on my mind right now that I thought, everyone can kind of gain a little insight and hopefully that added value. But with that, I'll pass it on back over to Aaron.
Jordan, that was beautiful. Pravin, that was just absolutely beautiful. And that's exactly why, folks, we call it the after hour spot, because this right here, not to say that the other two speakers, they were fabulous, but what Jordan preaches every week during the time of 9:30 to 9:45 simply is just you can't pay for that. You can't put a price on the things that Jordan says, and a lot of other people say. I'm not going to say Jordan's his own innovator. He gets this from the greatest of the greats who speak and preach on this. But Jordan delivers it very well, very in an easy layman's terms sense. So just astonished at how well he's been able to really help me in my life as well. So, and I two of us host the show. So if it resonates with me, I really hope and encourage that it resonates with you guys, because you really can't put a price on advice and just life advice like this. So anyway, time's now 9:40. We had a wonderful show tonight. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in, and for those who didn't tune in, be sure to check it out. Our archive listens on www.ChelladuraiInc.com, and subscribe. Check out our YouTube channel, Chelladurai Inc. I'm not going to say it again. I'm not going to spell it. That's 2 I's, though. The end of at the end of the I on Chelladurai, and then Inc, INC. Pick up a good book, finish the book that you already started. And if you haven't started another one yet, pick up another book, you guys. Pick up another book. Well, we're living in a world with constant content. Constant content. No more sitting and vegging. If you're sitting and vegging, veg on, you know, a good, nice literary piece. It's time to start really, and I'm not knocking the imaginative mind, but unless you're 90 years old, you know, and you just need a little brain stimulus in your nursing home or whatever, don't read about Dungeons and Dragons and Harry Potter and the underground world of vampires and shit like that, okay? We live in a time where there is just constant new developments coming out that's going to help you succeed in your career, in your personal life, in your relationship, in your professional life, in everything. Fivefold. There's so much great things out there and wonderful authors. I really implore you guys, that's a Gary Vaynerchuk, by the way, Gary Vaynerchuk word, by the way. I implore you guys to not get on the fictitious side of reading. Yes, is it good for your imagination? Yeah, it's good for your imagination. But get down to the core. Get what's really going to help you succeed and better yourself and better your life with real life knowledge and content that's going to help and aid and use as a crutch for your professional and personal life. With that, I'm gonna go just a couple minutes early. I do want you guys to tune in next week. Chelladurai Inc. And keep that head high and keep that middle finger higher. And we're gonna see you guys next week, as we always do, same time and place. You guys have a great rest of your evening.
Pop Central. Knock, knock, who's that at the door? My mind stay wide open as I'm doing chores. Thank the man above and we pray for more. Refuse to go down the road that we've been before. Keep my faith in God, still I'm gripping guns. Revising beat plans as we're counting funds. Ain't leaving this bitch till we get it done. 2 nights top floor, then it's on the run. 30,000 feet high, how I like. Press rewind, let my seat recline. Just unwind, think you'll find. In due time, we gon' shine. First bell rings at it early in the morning. Passing on the snooze, really there's no time for snoring. Better answer it, listen when your heart calls. And keep swinging every time till we all ball.